Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I gotta reboot my computer every time that happens. It just ticks me off. Sorry guys. I'm trying to get this build plate to cool down so I can pull the print off. But my DSLR is being difficult. Why don't you want to work? We're at 1080. Oh, are we back? Is that back now? Oh, heck, look at that. It's back now. Good gravy. It works sometimes. No, the DSLR. Stop jacking up. Now the whole thing's freaking frozen. There that is now. Good freaking gravy. It's just not my... It was not my day with this thing today. Texas does not want to work at all. Let's just remove it and we'll re-add it. Let's just add a new one. Handling 4K. Custom, I turn 1080, match that. It's not even working now at all. Yeah, that stupid thing is not even working at all now. Well, because that's not working, I'll need to figure out something else. This thing is still not cool enough to come off. Build plate is down to 42 degrees. I don't have any compressed air or anything. I'll just give it a little knock. There we go. I'll be careful not to mess up the build plate. Hard to say. It's not too shabby. Pretty smooth walls. If this stupid camera's working, I could show you guys a closer view of it. Deactivate. Activate. Oh, wait. Are we going to stick? We're going to stick? Okay, let's do this real quick before it starts jacking up again. And it jacked up again. I am not winning today at all. Like, this is the epitome of losing all the time. It's hard to see because I use freaking white. But, yeah, it's not too bad. Smooth walls all around, top filled in. And it crapped out again. It's a piece of junk. Well, it prints. Prints well. Good first layer. I'm going to go ahead and start my coin right now. And see how that goes. I turned the LED off, so now it's going to actually be the color it's supposed to be. So it looks like blue when it's heating up. There's some Pepsi on it. There we go. This thing ticks me off. It is always Jake from State Farmer's fault. I'm going to go back up here. I didn't see all these ones. Yep. Everything's going to be in a pain. Everybody can hear me at least. Yeah, hobby for old people like me, right? I guess I would like to do a standard 2020 cube. Maybe I'll try that later. You said about the pressures to see if that works out well. I will say their Z-seam, while noticeable, is not bad. Not bad. I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe not. So I guess I'll take questions for a little bit while this is going to print. I'm not going to wait for this whole thing to print. I mean, I am printing it stupid fast. It should only take an hour, but I'm not going to be on the stream for another hour, though. So if anybody has any questions or want to ask anything, happy to answer them for the next probably 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'm going to call it a night. I'm interested in why they saw a need to mechanically link the Z's when you're using two Z motors. If you're only using one Z motor, I could see using that, but I don't know. I've never really seen the advantages to that. That's just me, though. I don't know. Well, I do actually have a silver. I don't have it out right now, but I have the Filament 1 silver, and I always do. I have Prussian silver somewhere. Where is it at? Oh, I think I put it away. I was going to print something with the Prussian silver, and I did, but I stopped. I had it out here somewhere. I don't know where it is now. Long time for that prime to happen. It's not sticking at all. Oh, that's not good. It didn't actually prime anything for that. Oh well. We'll see how it goes. Oh, where are we at here? I guess they could. I don't see their firmware might be on the USB stick. That's kind of been common lately. So, let's see how that goes. Build size is 300 on the X, 300 on the Y, and 400 on the Z. So it's the same size as the CR10. I don't know if I'm going to do a Halloween video or not. I haven't really decided, but probably not because it's already mid-October. I've been working on just so many other things to catch up on and doing a Halloween. I might do a Christmas video though. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Well, that is not a spectacular first layer, I can say that. Probably, it's probably because it wasn't extruding yet. Is my top Z belt very loose? No. I mean, you can pinch it together. It's a little looser than I would like. But I guess I can always pull these. I guess you can't really adjust these much, can you? You can put a tensioner on it. I mean, I think it's tight enough for just what it's doing. It's not actually driving anything. It's just keeping them synced. So, thanks, Jake. I like them too. I had a lot of fun making that kind of videos lately. Trying to expand a little bit some other projects. And hope Evan and Caitlin don't mind me kind of stealing their idea. I'll have to check out the PID tuning, George. I see it fluctuating from 229 to 230. And this profile has it set to... What's this profile set to? 0.2 millimeter layer heights. Oh, the hexapixels. Thanks, Marin? Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, I mean, just, every now and then, I'm only seeing a 1 degree difference. Now, George, when did you get yours? Because, again, people are saying these are different versions. And now with the this version 4, it should be hopefully better tuned out of the box. Jake, that's actually one person I would actually love to meet, is Joseph. I just think it's cool everything he's done. I mean, I bought my Mark III, and if I decide to get the Prusa Mini, I'll have to buy that too. I'm not one of those people that's going to get any love from him anytime soon on printers or anything like that. And it seems like I have a closer version to what Angus has than to what some other people have, I think. Well, good for you, Stefan. I don't. He was at IRF this year. He didn't go to IRF last year because he did Prague Maker Faire for the first one last year. And that was the one I was actually at. And then IRF this year I couldn't make. And he was at that one. But I did get to meet Shane from Prusa, who no longer works for Prusa. But I got to meet him last year, so he's my doppelganger. He's a cool guy. I like him a lot. So I had this thing set to 100 millimeters a second in Simplify 3D. So I'm very curious on how it's going to end up with this print. Where are we at here? The Artillery and the Mini are the exact. The Artillery costs $20 more than the Mini, because the Artillery with my link down below gets you it for $379, which is cheaper than anywhere I've seen of anybody else's videos. I've seen $389 and $399, but $379 is the cheapest I've seen. That's down below with that coupon. The Prusa Mini is $350, so for $30 more, you get 3 times the printer. Well, if he ever makes it down to South America, maybe I'll meet him. But I doubt that'll happen. Well, I guess about double the volume, because it's 180. I mean, it's 2.5 times the volume almost, because that's 180 cube on the Prusa Mini, and this is 300 by 300 by 400. So more than 3.5 times the Z, 2.5 times the X and Y, or 2 times the X and Y, but almost. Yeah, I personally probably won't be doing any crazy upgrades for this one. They take a lot of time to do upgrades on all these different printers I have, and it's a lot of time. My first Chinese printer was the G-Tech i3 aluminum. That piece of junk gave me so many gray hairs when I was starting out 3D printing. That was brutal. So I have to say, look at this spool holder. It's not that bad, to be honest. I mean, it holds it in there. I have it riding on the rollers the way it should. This seems stable enough. And maybe if you get close to the Z height, I could see that being an issue, but right now, I'm not really seeing any issues at all with this spool holder for like what other people were saying. I don't know. Yeah, some of the cheaper printers upgrade. Like I'm currently doing all the upgrades on the Ender 3. So I did the TH3D Tough Extruder, so the E3D Titan clone. I just put Wham Bam on there, so that's a video coming up doing the Wham Bam Flex system, which actually is pretty nice for what it is. It actually wasn't all that expensive. It's not a bad setup, and it holds really well, which I was very surprised about. But that video should hopefully come out maybe next week. So George, changing spools just to change spools, or changing spools when you change filament out? I mean, for me, this is too tall anyways. This won't actually fit on any of my shelves. I don't even know where I put this printer, to be honest, because I'm tapped out everywhere. I don't know. Unless I try and fit like my rep box in a cubby or something. But it's kind of hard because MK3's over here, so I only think the rep box will fit in the middle, won't fit over here on this end one. I don't know. If I can move the rep box, I can fit another printer up there. But I'm going to have to do something with these CR10 and CR10S because they are workhorses. But if I'm going to keep getting newer printers, I got to start getting rid of some stuff. That's the one thing. I actually use every single printer I've ever received for review. I still use it today. Yeah. I mean, even ones I bought, I use every single printer at least once a week. The Anycubic console, that's a little less used. Other than that, every printer gets here used almost every week. So I at least use my printers. There's a lot of people that get printers for reviews and they use it for a week or a month to review it and then it's out the door. I also don't get that many, so that's also my difference. What Neary, he's at, Chris, he's at like 100 and some printers. He doesn't use all of those. He uses each one for a couple weeks, couple months, maybe, if that, and then moves on to the next ones because he gets tons of printers. Everyone sends printers to him, which is pretty fantastic for him, but he doesn't use any of them. So, kind of what's the point of longevity? I did my CR10 review after what? A year of use before I did the review on it? Oh, I understand, George. Okay. I understand that now. Paul, I have the MPSM V1. It's right here, and I use it frequently. I've done all the mods on it. That one I probably haven't used in 2 or 3 weeks. It's not a little dusty now. I'm going to put some more paces through that one, I think. But I at least use everything. I do need to do a couple reviews on some of them now. Now that I've had them for about a year, the AlphaWise U30 could use a review. The i3 Mega, I don't know if I ever reviewed that. I've actually had that for 2 years, and I use that thing literally daily. I don't know if I ever did a review on that one. G-Tech A10 is down again, waiting for a new board on that. TiVo Tornado, I don't think I ever did a review on that, but use that thing all the time. I love that build sheet. Now that I have a good layer on it, good first layer settings, it's pretty good. Yeah, this profile has a custom support settings on it, so that'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Yeah, I can't give any of these away. I mean, and I feel bad selling them, which is also why I use them all so much. I just feel bad on selling something that I got for free. But technically, the cost of the review is the printer like this. I don't know. I'll figure something out one day before I move again because I have to. I have to do like half of these have to be gone before we move again because I'm just hanging too much stuff. Especially now with I have 3 resin printers now. The longer orange 10 video will be out in the next week or so. I think I'm gonna start editing that. Maybe tomorrow I'll edit that one for next week. But yeah, it's getting tough. So you got to use it and lose it. Maybe I'll just end up giving them away here or something like that. Give them to the school or give them to the makerspace. There's one here that I know of at the one university. Probably get them a couple printers. Do a donation, a technical donation thing they call it. So Paul, I do know that Angus changed out his PTFE tube in the hot end. I also do know that what's it called said it was a big issue. So he actually put in a piece of Capricorn instead of what they have. I find Capricorn kind of crappy. I mean, it's very good PTFE tubing for good filament, but I get such a huge range of filament. I can't rely on just using super high quality PTFE tubing. It doesn't work out for me. If you're only going to buy, like Matter Hackers is pretty good, Protopasta is obviously good, ColorFab is good. If you're going to buy $40 a kilogram spools of filament, the Capricorn tubing is absolutely the way to go. But for any of the other cheap Chinese filaments that I get from God knows what companies send me stuff, it's not worth it. I tried it. I still have it. I bought it myself. I tried it on the CR10S, and it was horrible. It was an absolute nightmare to use. So if anything, I'll just put something. It does, yeah, Marion, it does hold up to higher temps. It's supposed to go up to 260, but again, their tolerances are exactly 1.75 or maybe 1.76. Their tolerance is so doggone tight. If you have any larger variance in your filament, you're going to jam. It's inevitable. It happened all the time to me when I was trying to use that, because again, I don't use always high-end filament. See, and I didn't get that one. I got the TS, and that's the dark blue one that's supposed to be high temp. Maybe I'll give that one a try, Jake. It's the whole brand. It's the whole. I have this. It's a super cheap IKEA, or not IKEA, Sam's Club lifetime table, and it is not fantastic. I try to spread the legs out as much as I can to keep it still, but it's a cheap table that I can fold down, fold in half, and put it to the side. My office is. I mean, I can touch. My 2 racks of printers I can touch. This is as wide as my space is, and for me to the camera is 6 feet to my webcam that you guys are seeing me on. So my office is about 12 by 10 feet, or about 10 by 10 feet. So I have a very, very small amount of space. So normally I have this table broken down and put to the side so that I actually walk around my office and work on all the different printers. And then when I do like MakerBox and a bunch of those, I'll usually do 1 or 2 MakerBoxes at a time. I'll bring the table out again so I can set all the prints down with their baggies, and I can organize everything on my notes and all that. But yeah, I have to use this very lightweight, cheap table because I don't have space to keep a table up all the time. Tails 1.9. That's Jake. I will definitely have to go and see that out. The Volcano sock fit this extruder. Well, it fits the hot end. Yeah. So I have a legit E3D sock on here, and it fit perfectly. There's a little bit of extra space on it. It's the old style Volcano, which is what I have for the FT5. I have another E3D V6 with a Volcano on it, and I have an E3D V6 standard for that one, which is always on it. I've never actually used the Volcano hot end that I have set up for it. It has the quick disconnects on it and everything, but I've never actually used it. So I might end up using it on a different printer. I don't know. Or take that off, take the hot end off, and put an actual V6 back on it. Use that on a different printer because it is it did cost me like $70 for that. I just don't use it. But yeah, the sock fit this perfectly well. Maybe a little bit of gap in the. There's a little bit of gap in the front. I can see it now. There's probably about 4 or 5 millimeter gap in the front, but it fits on there tightly, and I can't really. Nothing else wrong about it. It fits on there at least. So this print's supposed to take an hour. Normally my my coin at 60 to 70 milliliters a second takes about 2.5 hours to make. This one says it's going to take an hour and 9 minutes in Simplify 3D. So I was pretty impressed by that. So we're about a little more than almost a quarter of the way there. Potato head thing? Is that the one from Chaos Cortec, the potato head? That was actually one video, you kind of remind me, Jake, I never actually did. I have so many different build services nowadays. It is so hard. I was going to do like a roundup, like a year, probably almost about 2.5 years ago. I was going to do like a roundup of all the different mats that you could use because there was only like half dozen back then. Now, everybody and their mother has their own flex sheet system. Everybody and their mother has a build tack system. Everybody has some type of PI or what's the one from Wham-Man's PEX. Then you have several different companies with this ultra base one. So I bought the one from Crowley, so I have that one. I have this one from Artillery. I have several of the actual Anycubic ultra bases, and then there's another one. G-Tech has an ultra plate, they call it, on the A10. Well, that one is probably the best next to the actual Anycubic ultra base. The ultra plate or super plate from G-Tech is the next best one. This one's got a pretty good texture to it. It's not too bad at all. So I'll give it another 2 minutes. If anybody has anything else they want to ask me, welcome to ask. Again, I'm not going to stay for this hour and 10, hour and 15 for this thing to finish. I will post pictures on my social media when it's done. I don't know if I'll still be up tonight when it's done, but in the morning, I'll try to before I go to work. I'll post some pictures on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook so you guys can see how this print actually turns out. And I will be doing a bunch of prints on this for the next few days. It'll stay here on my table, and I will just run a bunch of prints through it just to make sure that's kind of repetitive right out of the box. And then I'll start doing just standard prints on maybe the next maker box. I'm 2 months behind right now on printing. I'm a few behind in actually posting, but I'm only, I think, 2 behind on printing. Maybe I'll do the next maker box all on here and see how that goes. Maybe I'll put in the all metal hot end, or an all metal nozzle at least, so I can do the abrasives, because this comes with a spare 0.4, I'm assuming, because it's not labeled at all. But I do have some all metal ones that I could do with it. Oh, GG Roar has one. Oh, I didn't know that. That's another one that I've wanted to always check out, but I've never received one from them. EZNAF, PLA, BEI, and glue stick for stretch. Yeah, that usually works out pretty well. The gantry is 100% stable, so it was a smidgen loose, and I did go ahead and tighten that up with 1/10 or 1/12 of a turn, maybe 10-degree turn. That's all it took to get that really locked on there, and then both of the Z's needed just, again, a smidgen. Y was perfectly stable right out of the box. It didn't shift at all, so I was happy with that. It didn't shift either on a plane, on either back and forth, or in any up and down any direction. Didn't wiggle at all, so I was satisfied with that. I do wonder, I forget who it was, George, about putting something between these, making it wider, and just putting something between there so a spool filament could kind of ride on there easier. Probably could do that with a print. That could be something easy enough to make, I think. Or just do a whole roll of those bearings. That'd be kind of funny. Pick my widest spool, which I think is Repco. The Repco filament that they sent me is the widest spool that I have. And then everything else is pretty much, the smallest one is like AO Robotics. It's probably the smallest one I have. Or just put on the 2020 one that I have to kind of just hang it on there. That would also probably work out fine. I think that's what Angus did, actually. Thinking back to his. Thanks, Paul. So, all right, I'm going to call it a night, guys. Again, if you guys want to check this out, it's the cheapest I've seen. It's $3.79. Down in the video description, there's a coupon code and the fill link. If you guys use that, I get a little piece back here. As someone commented on my last video, and I said it, YouTube income is crap. So anything you guys do to help out, I greatly appreciate. Go ahead and become a patron. Links are down below. If you want to use Streamlabs, I'm actually using Streamlabs OBS, which I use all the time. It's kind of giving me problems right now, but generally I like it. It's easy to use. There's a link down there for that if you want to check it out. I do have Honey. If you want to install that on your browser, you can check that out. And again, fill links, coupon codes, all that's down below for various other places like Ziltech, AO Robotics, you name it. There's a bunch down there. Forger Tech as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, and you'll see a video on this hopefully in the near future. And if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see y'all next time.